Hey guys, here to do another installment of Casket Conversations. Sorry it's been a while, there's been a lot going on, but we are here today again with the wonderful Stephen Kaczynski. Say hi.
I'm back.
Yes. We are finally getting around to talking about the last two episodes of the Psychiatric Files, which...
Thank God it's over.
Yeah, it's done.
Well, thank God it's out. I said that it's over, but thank God it's out.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Now everyone gets to see your lovely work. So, this should be rather interesting. I think, I think the show has been, great. I really enjoyed it all. So, this will be fun for me to kind of pick your brain on the last few episodes. Something I think I want to start off with asking is, how long did it take you to come up with the anagram?
It didn't take me long to come up with the actual anagram, like the letters,
right?
The way they were arranged. That didn't take me long. It took me like a couple of days. How to do the solving of it, I actually, I'll admit, I cheated. I have a friend who's really big into puzzles and word games, which I enjoy them too, but I didn't want to solve it as me. So I said, okay, I'm going to send this to someone who's really intellectual and loves these kind of word games. So I sent them to a friend of mine, and I didn't tell her what the actual final result was.
Right.
And I sent it to her to see if she could solve it. And I said, okay, send me the picture of how you solved it, and then she did, and it was great, and I loved it, and I said, okay, cool, I can copy it. I basically copied it for the actual episode, so that was kind of fun, and it was neat to show, and it was a good way to show that Jack is also an intellectual investigator, not just, brutish and guns.
For sure. Now
punching people and shooting them.
Also, in that last scene, you were acting with another actor there, and I believe the character's name was Burke. How was it working with him? And do you think we'll see him again in the universe?
The actor's name is Nicholas Burns.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful actor. He actually shot scenes for episode 7, and we had some technical issues, unfortunately. But he was willing. He was very gracious about it and was willing to come back to reprise the role for the 9th episode, and he came in, and he was just fantastic. He looks better in a suit than I do. I don't know how I feel about that. And also, it was nice to play against someone who's taller than me, because, I'm not a little guy. I'm 6'2".
Right.
And he's 6'4", so it was nice to play against someone who was taller than me.
Right.
It gave the camera crew a heck of a time, but it was fun for me.
Oh, for sure.
So, he was great. I like the Burke character. As I said, originally he was the character who was originally supposed to be there was Marshall from episodes 3, 4, and 6.
Yeah.
And he wasn't available to do that. The actor David Rose, and I didn't want to waste a good performance, so I rewrote the scenes for Burke and wrote a new character in a few hours.
Oh, wow.
And I definitely want to bring him back. Will we get the same actor? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We haven't had the chance to bring his character back so far in the storyline that we're currently looking at doing. So that means, yes, we are doing future stuff. I'm sure that question's going to come up.
Yeah.
With the Cops and Cons universe, but we haven't had the chance to bring that character in, but I would love for that actor to come back, but if he's not available, we may have to recast, and that's going to be a pain, but it is what it is. Yeah,
definitely. Now, I'm kind of working my way backwards through the episode, so something else I wanted to ask is, you actually get to experience shooting in a lot of different locations in Psych Files, which is kind of fun and interesting, so I gotta ask, how hard was it to secure the restaurant location?
Not very hard, actually. Family friends of ours were regular business, went regularly to that particular restaurant. Unfortunately, it's closed now, so I can't go back. but it was owned by a pair of brothers, and they knew the owners personally. So I talked with the owners, and we kind of set up a little bit of a business deal that I could set up, and they were just like, could you at least buy some food from us? And I said, I don't have a problem with that, because I was planning on paying for food. And
right.
I said, I will, promote your restaurant. You're going to get a special thanks in the credits for letting us use this location, and we'll stay out of the way. We'll just rent out the back room or something. And we did, and it was a wonderful location to shoot. It was visually very easy to set up.
Yeah.
We actually ended up having some lighting so we could light it really well. The visuals in that scene are actually really good.
Yeah.
I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it really
was fun to
yeah,
get
it really
that
came
location.
out well.
I wish we could get it again.
Yeah, definitely. So in that scene, you interact with a couple actors, a waitress, and then I'm assuming another character. How was it working with the actress who portrayed West?
She's a friend of mine named Elizabeth Gabriel. She was actually a finalist for Dr. Scott, but she had some issues with some of the material, and I said, hey, do you want to come back and play another character?
Yeah.
Because at that point, I'd already settled on Cher, and Cher's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, she's wonderful.
We all can attest. Her birthday was not that long ago.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Cher.
We sent her some love.
That's good. That's
good. Anyway, we shot some stuff with her, and she was really, and so she said, yeah, I really like this character, and I told her about kind of the setting of the scene, and Liz is actually a really good actress, and she really fit the role, and especially what we kind of need to do at the time for that character, and I think it's a perfect introduction for her. I'm not just saying that because I'm the writer, but I think it just really does a good way of establishing her relationship with Morris, and also establishing who she is in the universe.
Yeah.
But we do love the waitress, Nadia Zamordian. She's a great actress, model, individual. We're hoping to work with her again at some point.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome.
For some kind of project.
So, I gotta ask, because, judging by the conversation that Morris and West have together in this scene, which isn't a whole lot, but I think you get enough to realize that she is of some importance to Morris. So, who is she as a character, and how important is she to the Cops and Cons universe?
Well, she mentioned she dated his best friend for 2 years.
Right.
That's Kevin Rollins. So there's that connection.
Yeah.
She's a crime scene analyst.
Yeah.
She's actually a very good one, and she's considered one of the best the ROPD has. She's a civilian. She's not a cop.
Mm-hmm.
But she interacts with cops on a regular basis, and she's very tough. You don't see her a lot like this in here, but she's kind of spunky. In this particular project, she's not very spunky, but she has her moments that comes through, but she's a very spunky character, and she's not exactly the human element, but more of the intellectual element of the show. Because we have Jack, who is very, who trusts his gut more than anything.
Yeah.
Whereas she's slightly more of an empirical scientist.
Definitely.
She also has a connection to Morris because they have had 2 years of friendship, and we may show in the past some flashbacks or something how when they first met they did not like each other, but they've grown together, and I think it's implied well enough in that particular scene. Hopefully it is. That they've gone through a lot together in a short amount of time.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're hoping to bring her back. Bring the character. We are definitely.
Right.
We've already brought the character back for another project, and hopefully bring the character back for some more.
Awesome.
We'll see what happens as far as casting goes.
Yeah, for sure. So, which brings me to, I think, my, I'd probably say my most anticipated question for this whole episode 9 is, what was it like shooting those final moments between Morris and Roberts?
If I get emotional here, everyone will know why, especially if they've seen the episode.
Yeah.
heartbreaker. It's funny. I actually sat with Andrea because we had to do some audio dialogue replacement for another episode, and I showed her the raw footage of the episode because it hadn't been edited yet, and she's like, she goes, "Oh my gosh, this is so heartbreaking." And I said, "My heart's breaking right here, and I'm just looking at the raw stuff. Imagine how the final episode's going to be."
Yeah.
And it was.
Right.
I get emotional just thinking about it. But it was a really good scene. It was actually really poignant for the two of us because she has the most guest appearances on the show.
Yeah.
As I said in previous Casket conversations regarding the show, I consider her the third unofficial member of the main cast.
Definitely.
And also we have had her, the character, in 2 previous short films. So it proves that she's so important, and it's sort of showing the transition, kind of a passing of the torch type thing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So we'll see.
Do you think Morris would have gone?
It was sad.
Do you think Morris would have gone after Roberts if she hadn't said for him not to?
Oh yeah, that's why she said it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think he probably...
Because she knows him extremely well, because she was his partner for like 2-3 years. And she knows how he is.
Yeah.
As a person, so that's why she said, "Don't come after me," because... And she made him promise, and of course he's a man of his word, so he wouldn't break something so dear as his own promise.
Yeah, now... Do you think at this point in Morris's life he's gotten used to the idea of, losing people in his life, or, not having things the way he, would necessarily want them to be? Like, what is his mental state with, all of these different things going on?
I would take a look at him as a person. You see how jaded he is.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the closer people, like Nicole Roberts, it hits close to home for him, and losing his best friend, but he's still a pretty jaded character. He lost his dad at 17.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already been through a series of unsuccessful relationships, as he mentioned in a couple of the earlier episodes of Psych Files, so he's not immune to the fact that he may end up alone, but he still wants a human connection.
Right. For sure. Well, it's like episode 9 was, I think, a very awesome episode that leads into the finale, and which, let's kind of talk about the last episode a little bit, because you really did do a good job of setting up the... I guess what you'd say the final moments of what you've been leading up to, the conclusion. So I gotta ask, how was it working with Kurt again on the finale?
I love Kurt. He's one of my favorite human beings to work with, and he's just a straight up guy and just good old fashioned fun gentleman. And we laugh together. I think we spend most of our time on set between takes laughing, because we throw jokes and such. He's been pushing me for a Cooper Squint spinoff.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I wouldn't have to write very much. I just write a situation, just leave the camera running, and just let you two go at it.
Yeah. For sure.
So, it was fun to have a little cameo, because originally he was only supposed to be in one episode, but I really liked his performance and his take on the character, and I'm like, I want to bring him back for one more time if he's willing, and Kurt was like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm game. And he's come back for me twice now. So.
That's awesome, yeah. He's really good as the character, and I hope that as that character continues to pop up in the universe, hopefully you can continue to get him to come back. Something else I wanted to ask is, were you always intending on the last moments between Morris and Scott being over the phone, or had you initially hoped that there would be some kind of face-to-face occurrence?
I went through those moments. They went through like 3 or 4 different transitions. Part of it was because we just didn't have, we had some issues.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was kind of just a matter of...
Cher wasn't able to make it out, so we shot her stuff separately. So we had to shoot... so I had to come up with a new storyline. In part 9, she was actually supposed to be at the dinner for 2, and actually she was actually supposed to be in the actual restaurant and such. So, and Cher was having some vehicle issues, and she couldn't make it to the set. So I said, okay, let me rewrite and work around this, and I think we came up with a pretty decent solution. And also,
definitely.
I think the phone thing actually shows she's one step ahead of him all the time, and that makes her all the more dangerous.
Yeah.
Or whoever she's working for, all the more dangerous.
Absolutely.
So.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. So, I know for, it's hard to ask some of these questions because, we kind of talk off air a little bit and stuff, or off of the podcast. So I got to figure out a way to word what I want to say without seeming like I know more, because I do. But the character of Cooper, what, how was it working with the actor, portraying him? Because I know from a story point of view, I know that he's a character that will pop in. But I think you got a really good actor to play him in Psych Files. So what was it like working with him?
Funny thing, that was his first time acting on screen.
Yeah.
One of the things that really strikes me, sometimes actors really help the fact that they have personal life experience. And I know in my background for Cooper, not only is he a police veteran of many years, I mean, he's a lieutenant and he's been in the field and such, he's a lot more behind the desk now, but back in his heyday, he was a lot like Morris.
Yeah.
But he also served in the military, and Mike Gallucci, the actor who plays him, actually served in the military for many years, and also public service, helping out veterans and such. And he's also a member of the Blue Society in the area, so he's very active as a person. So it was something that really, he brought that importance of experience and such to the character, and that made that character come to life. So it was really good working with him. He and I have a good friendship on and off screen.
Yeah.
We have I thought we had a really good rapport together, and that helped both of us give out the best performance that we could, and I think the performance came through on screen.
I think so, definitely. Now, again, go back to what I said before I asked that question. Does Cooper play a pivotal character in Morris's life, professional and personal?
He sort of acts as a father figure, mentor type character, and also, if you notice, I tried to portray this in the episode through the writing and also through the acting. He's the only one who can give Morris orders, and he'll actually listen.
Yeah.
Now, Morris is a little bit of a temper tantrum teenager sometimes, but he's like, all right, that's enough. You're an adult, act like it. And he is able to quell his angst, I guess, would be the best way to put it.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, I mean, he is a superior officer.
Yeah.
So he understands the military structure, and Morris understands it because of his dad's background in the Marines and such. So he respects the chain of command as much as he can.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And how important to Morris's psyche was that last scene between him and Cooper? Because I feel like this is really a moment where, Morris is sort of trapped in this particular place, and Cooper seems to kind of come in and whether it works or not, we'll have to see, but it seems like Cooper was at least trying to kind of drill through whatever, Morris was kind of up against.
He sometimes it has to come in. He already understands. He sometimes has to come in and give Morris a kick in the ass to do his job and do it well, because he knows what he's capable of. He sees his. He respects that he has skills, even though he has a lot of horrible habits.
Yeah.
As a policeman, but he's a really talented investigator and a good detective. And he's able to get him going on the right track, and I think that's I tried to portray that in that scene between the two of them, and I think that it came off pretty decently.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. Now there's a part in this episode where you're kind of confronted by another agent. I believe her name was Sheridan.
Lieutenant Sheridan. Anna Sheridan. She's an internal affairs investigator.
Yeah.
Pretty high up on the food chain.
Yeah, it seemed like it. Now, do you intend on this character to return to the universe, or?
Yes. The wonderful character actress who played her name is Kim Marie, got a great amount of experience under her belt, and she's a mom. She's dealt with, temperamental adults.
Yeah.
And she was able to quell that, and also they respect each other. There's a mutual respect, and that's unusual for Jack, because he doesn't. Most cops, if you have never experienced it with the police force, most cops, it's shown on television, sometimes a little melodramatically, they have issues with IAB because the internal affairs, and that's kind of, we try to show that, but not as much hatred. Right. Morris actually has some reason for his distrust of IAB, but she proved to him that she could be trusted. So they actually refer to each other by their first names.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can get Kim to reprise the role. If not, we'd have to recast. I really don't want to, because she gave something really unique to that character, and I think we'll be able to do that. I want to bring that character back. I have certain instances where I'm really wanting to bring that character back.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. I know. I definitely look forward to seeing her come back, because you definitely get this sense on screen. I think you guys did a really good job of showing, without giving anything specific away, there's definitely that notion of, they've dealt with each other before, and they kind of have a rapport together, and so I know I definitely look forward to seeing what that kind of looks like. But I gotta ask, how was it working with the actor playing Conklin? I mean, because that last scene of it,
I love Dallas.
Yeah, that whole scene just cracked me up. I mean, just everything about it. But I thought he did a really wonderful job.
That was one of my favorite scenes to perform. That was one of my favorite scenes to direct, and he just brought that character to screen. And Conklin is a character very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And we've been kind of building up to this. We've actually been building up for at least, you say that the final episode's a major build-up episode. Yeah, absolutely. One of the build-ups was meeting Cooper, because we hadn't at this point. And, of course, building up to meeting Conklin, because we actually mentioned that he's getting a new partner.
Yeah.
And we hadn't yet. And so we're finally meeting him, and Dallas really did a nice job bringing that character to life.
Absolutely.
And I just had fun with it.
Yeah,
we both,
for sure.
If you couldn't tell, and we were trying to establish how their relationship was going to be, right off the bat. And I think it came off, as I said, pretty nicely.
Oh, I think it did. So I gotta ask, how fun was it getting to knock down the whiteboard?
It took us a while to get it right, because I needed it to fall exactly. There was one time I actually almost hit the camera.
Oh, dear.
Not because of my bad ball throwing ability, but because I hit it just right and it actually fell, but we had some rigging behind the scenes to pull it down. But it managed to work.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I guess my last question for you would be, and feel free to take your time in answering this, but how long did it take you to come up with the entire story for Psych Files? You know, what was kind of the process and all of that jazz?
It took me a while, because originally it was supposed to be just like, it wasn't even supposed to be a real honest-to-God storyline as in-depth as it was. It was originally supposed to be just a little something for fun, for, like, delving into character psyche and such.
Right. So kind of just like kind of its own standalone kind of episode or something for further down?
Yeah, it was supposed to be only like a couple here and there just to kind of build audience participation up for the regular show, and that ended up becoming a little bit more than that, and also a lot of character development in these relationships and such, and I wanted to show the outside world what Cops and Cons was going to really be about and show different aspects, so we went, I mean, you helped me write a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
But I helped you, one of the two. The writing process was about trying to figure out the different themes that we're going to have in the show in the future of Cops and Cons, and kind of have them portrayed in very limited aspects in each episode. And I think we did that quite well. We have the action, we have the romance, we have the really dark gallows humor, we have the friendships, and a little bit of political tension, not as much as we may experience in the future, but that kind of thing, and also the family love, both blood and just spiritual family, for lack of a better term, and elements of faith and spirituality and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know you've done a wonderful job at setting up this universe and creating a lot of really wonderful characters for people to kind of enjoy and watch and stuff. And, you know, I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens with all of these people moving forward and such like that. You know, I know there's a bunch of characters that I can't wait to see again and all of that. And, you know, I think specifically talking about Dr. Scott I think her character is a really interesting, unique character, and it would be really cool to see you know, her kind of character to come back and kind of see her, you know, a little bit peppered in through the series. You know, I know that you're still in the process of writing a little bit, you know, the series and whatnot, and figuring out what to do, but I know for me, she's probably my number one character that I would like to see return outside of, you know, the what would you say, the group, if you will, you know, Conklin and Cooper and Kurt and, you know, or Squint and everybody. But yeah, you know, it's been a fun ride seeing you create this, you know, from the beginning to the end, and actually seeing it out there for people to enjoy. I really do think, and I'm not just saying this because, you know, you're who you are and stuff like that, you know, I do think that the series is really good, and kind of reaching into the future, if you will, for this episode. You know, the short film is out now. Mercy Mild is out, so if you guys haven't gone and checked that out, please go show that some love as well, just like Psych Files. And we hope to do another episode where we talk about it on its own. But, you know, we get to see...
There's a lot to talk about that one.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, we have elements of Psych Files playing into Mercy Mild.
Yeah.
And we have characters returning. Sometimes they don't look the same as they did in Mercy Mild and Psych Files, but we'll
delve into that.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But 3 actors came back, so yay!
Woo!
We don't. Oh, actually 2, because we don't want to talk about Jack Morris. He's a douche. Bad actor playing Jack Morris. We don't like him.
I don't know. I don't think he's too bad. Yeah, no, I think, you know, it's like I said before, not to drag this out more than it needs to be, but again, I can't encourage people enough to go support the show, and if you've already watched it to your heart's content, then yeah, do it again, spread it around, show it to other people, get the word out about this wonderful series, because not just
binge watch with your honeys.
Exactly, binge watch.
That's one way you could have spent your Valentine's Day, with binge watching Cops and Cons. I know a couple of people who actually did that.
Oh wow!
They would have date nights and they would binge watch the show.
Fun. That's fun. So I guess that's it. Without further ado, this has been a fun interview getting to talk about the episode. I can't wait until or the episodes. Can't wait to talk about Mercy Mild and all that. And I know I again am looking forward to the future of Cops and Cons. So is there anything you want to leave the good listeners with?
Just keep your eyes open, because we're doing a lot of different stuff. I mean, not Altogether Productions, not just Cops and Cons.
Yeah.
We have a couple of projects that are in the works, which is very exciting for me.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we're doing more Cops and Cons stuff, but
for sure,
which is always fun. But I'm working on some other stuff in the background, and hopefully we will have more stuff for you to enjoy before too long.
Anything you feel comfortable talking about specifically, or not really sure yet?
We have Cops and Cons shorts. We're kind of going back to our roots and doing little short films. They can stand on their own, but they also kind of go into a sequence and such. I'll be adding that to our playlist there.
Yeah, and maybe once all the shorts are done, we can do another episode for that.
That would be fine. We're only doing 8 of those.
It's a good number.
We're not doing a whole full-out mini-series again, because that was exhausting. And what's exciting is, at least for right now, we are going to have a different team of directors. I'm going to possibly direct one, but it's going to be a different team of directors. I'll be handling a majority of the writing, but I haven't written all of them. I can say that.
Yeah.
So we got that. We're bringing a new production team. We're kind of starting off with a mostly clean slate. We have a couple of black spots here and there, but that's because they're helpful and they wanted to come back.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. Well,
it's been a while. I will be posting a public statement regarding another project. I've gotten a couple of questions about it. I'm actually going to be shooting my public statement over this week, a weekend, and putting that together for everybody, because that's something I wanted to deal with.
Yeah.
But
for sure. Yeah, sounds like a fun time there. I guess thanks for listening, everybody, and it's always fun having Steven on, talking to him and stuff. So please, if you want him to come back and do more of these, shoot him some messages and let him know that you want him back on the show or anything like that. So without further ado, I will say goodbye until next time. This has just been fun. Peace out, guys.
Later.